Next, we have a class response. I had asked this year's graduating class to pick an individual to say a few words on behalf of the class. And Joel Liebman is the graduate that will be doing that today. Now, over the course of this past week, he has told me it's going to be an hour-and-a-half speech. Every time he goes by my office, he gives me another little tidbit. So I'm kind of looking forward to what Joel has to say. I'm a little concerned about the hour-and-a-half part, but Joel, we have time, right? The stage is yours.
To start, I wanted to talk a little bit about the process we went through here in Genoa. It's obviously been a long 2 years that went fast. I can remember day one sitting on the front porch talking about who we are and where we came from, why we're here. And it was kind of interesting sitting there again and kind of reflecting back. I think most of us came to school with little or no experience, which really helps out the fact that here at Genoa we start with the basics. One of the first things we do is we buy all our hand tools. And I guess most of us try to buy probably the best tools we can find, which they're quite available. But I'd say they come pretty much defective and crummy. So our first 3 weeks, we tune our tools, which is a long process. We all want to get busy woodworking, but we need these tools to do the work. So we flatten our planes. We flatten every part of the plane, and it's a long process. Every tool gets tuned, even screwdrivers, which when I spoke to people about what we did, it just seemed like a joke to them that all we do to even tune up a screwdriver, but it's really important. So we had our planes working fine, and we're given a board project. Seemed pretty simple, a chunk of wood, let's flatten it with our master planes that we have here, and flatten it and square it. But I would say probably a week and a half passed by, and working almost full time on these pieces of wood, not too big, and they still weren't flat. So, but excellent experience in preparation for things to come. Along with this, we're working with drafting, drawing, metalworking, design, and furniture art history. I say furniture art history because we receive a good background in art history too, which at Genoa we know the importance of studying the other arts. Then we get into our hand tool project, something I think most of us wouldn't choose to do unless in some shops we had no machinery. But the hand tool project was a great experience, great satisfaction when you're done, knowing that this piece of furniture was made completely by hand. None of these magnificent power tools were used to do a process in, say, 5 minutes that would take us a day or two. In the hand tool project, we learned joinery skills such as mortise and tenon joints. We moved on to dovetailing. I think most of us enjoy dovetails, and once you learn a little bit about woodworking, it's a mark of quality to see these nice hand-cut dovetails. Along with this, we're down in the metal shop, learning many kinds of welding. I wasn't even sure how many kinds we learned because there's many ways of joining the metal. There's been talk about what is Genoa all about. It's not based around a figure. We're not a Wendell Castle school. We're not a Sam Maloof. So we don't produce Wendell Castle furniture. It's always been talked that we produce quality, and quality is stressed. We had one teacher quote, look at, I guess, a joint on a piece of my furniture that wasn't done quite as beautiful as it could be, and his comment was, how could you sleep at night? And it hit hard, for someone to say, how could you sleep at night, which I had no problem. But I think it actually sums up sort of a theory here that you are to do your best, and maybe it won't be perfect, but I think you can sleep at night knowing you did your best. I think probably, along with the skills, the most important thing we come out of here with is the art of problem solving. In the beginning, everything's a question, and that's what the teachers are here for, ask away, which I asked quite a bit. But over the 2 years, I really feel that we've learned quite a bit of problem solving. Everything we make is something new, even new for the teachers, so they're always testing their skills. But I feel for the future, we'll be making pieces that we've never done before, and maybe no one has done before, and we'll have the skills to figure out what has to be done and how to do it. One of the nice things about Genoa is the community, the teachers, the students. It helps with problem solving, bouncing ideas off other people, and helping other people in their projects. I think it's a tight group we have here. Just about everybody knows everybody in the school and knows what others are doing. I think the future for the graduates and all the students here is open to many options of what can be done. One of the great possibilities is to stay here. We have residency where we can set up our own shop. Somewhat could be it could be a third year of our education with the use of the faculty. So that's one option. We could set up our own shop, which I feel we are quite qualified for. And even in our own shop, there's so many options. We could continue to produce the studio art furniture, a lot that goes on here. I think there's another possibility, what I call like a hometown shop, which is meeting the needs of local people in custom work, working with them to produce a product that the public can easily have access to. Our own shop can, we can do limited productions, which it's been talked that that's a good option for the future, to think about that if you don't want to get tied into just one-off furniture. The limited production, I think, could work out. And then there's always custom cabinets, which I almost put on the bottom of the list because people say, well, you come to Genoa to do woodworking, metalworking, and some people say carpentry. Well, you have to correct them right there. And some people say cabinet making, and we try to correct them there too, that it's not strictly cabinet making. But that's an option as far as a future, and especially here with custom cabinet making. You can always work for others. There's a lot of experience, I think, to be gotten from experiencing other people's processes. There's lots of work in the metalworking field with welding and metal fabricating and the metal furniture. I think the options there are quite wide. And obviously there are many more possibilities of what we could be doing in the future. Teaching crafts, I could just go on and on. Obviously, the furniture making takes long hours and dedication, which I think works fine because there's an enjoyment in this work. I think everybody enjoys it, and that's why they're here. I've spoken to some woodworkers who say they put in 12 to 16 hours a day in their shop. And I think if you're a banker or something, to spend 16 hours at your job, you'd go crazy. But with this, it works out quite well. And that's why I think about this field as a career and a hobby. Some people don't like to hear the word hobby because I feel like it degrades what it's all about. But I think that's where it works fine, that we can work our 9 to 8 hour days and then come back to the shop after dinner and be happy to be there, just as, say, a hobbyist might go down into his basement and tinker after dinner. We just go back to work. The future of the school, I believe, is on a positive path, is continually improving and always working on how to make this place even a better place. I feel there's a need for an institution like this to promote the art of fine furniture making and designing. Obviously everybody uses furniture and would like to have something special, and a place like this could help meet the needs. I wanted to say thanks to basically everybody. I wanted to say thanks to two people who aren't with us anymore, not teaching here, Tim Wells and Jim Hill. Tim Wells, I want to thank for his expertise and his push for excellence. How can you sleep at night? He's the man. Jim Hill gave a real personal approach to us. I'm in a group of 4, so he really could work with us one-on-one, work on our designs. I'd like to thank Mike Clapper for taking over, for always being there for us. He was always a help. Last year when he was, I would say, second man, he was always there, and this year he's really taken control, and I see him really doing an excellent job in the future. Bill Schaefer for his one-on-one approach. He's always willing to take the time. He was always here and would stop what he's doing and spend the hours with you. Late, it could be late at night. Nick, and I never could pronounce his last name. Klemensky? As our design teacher and drawing teacher, he brought in diversity. He always had an answer for just about any subject, sort of a master of all trades. If you had glass, leather, something you needed to find more about, you could go to Nick. I'd like to thank Ed Cornwell for his wealth of knowledge, encyclopedia up there in art history class. Pat Bechtold for her dedication, and she was a person, I believe, and I think most people would agree, that she would do anything for you. And I mean, just yesterday she proved it again by moving a piece of my furniture up to the gallery that I was not sure how I was going to get there, and I mean, she was there to do it. I'd like to welcome Susan, our art teacher. I think, again, agree that she's doing an excellent job, and we've really come a long way with her. Toby Dean, Bencham assistant, for his, what I say, a straightforward approach. He always had a simple answer to your problem. Again, these are all welcomes to Barbara in the office, always cheery and happy. Nice to see working here. And a special welcome to John Temple, pulling everything together. Friendly guy. And always interested in what the student had to say, and continue interested. I don't think anyone would worry if they were called to the president's office, principal's office. Let's give good luck to Bob Bailey, his future. He was our temporary design teacher this semester. And a special thanks to master craftsman Mark Gravino, and Jim Nagel. I think that's what makes Genoa so great, is we have our residents, and I personally got a lot out of going to them for another opinion, and there's always another opinion, and I think it's important to get every view before you go ahead and create these pieces. I'd like to thank Helmut Lippenhausen for being here. How long was it? 3 weeks? 6 weeks? Feels like a long time. It's been great seeing you create this fine piece. Another resource. Again, we can always use another resource. I don't think we can have too many here. And I'll miss you at lunchtime. And finally, I'd like to thank Clifford Bish and Douglas Davenport for making this all possible. Thanks.
Will the graduates or candidates for graduation please rise? As I call your name, please come forward. Matthew Goldowitz. Ray Hart. James Holahan. And Joel Liebman.